All right, viewers out there, welcome to another edition of the ISB show. I'm your host, Sahel, here with Rahi and Roy. We are covering the Asian World Cup qualifiers. They just finished, so doing a recap. And guys, there was a lot of crazy stuff that happened out there. A lot of matches to cover. Should we start? Should we start with our friends from Indonesia, guys? Should we start with our friends from Indonesia?
Let's start with Indonesia. Let's do it.
Okay. The Indonesians went to Bahrain, and let's talk about the good first. It was an exciting match, right? 2-2, Bahrain versus Indonesia. And the two boys, Rahi, your boy Ragnar, and Mr. Streak with a golazo, man. Let's talk about that for Indonesia. They were struggling scoring before. They got 2 goals today.
And Mr. Martin Paz, save after save again. Another incredible performance. Let's be honest about this. Indonesia deserved to take 3 points from this game. They deserved the biggest victory in the history of the Garudas. It wasn't to be, Roy, because what's 6 or 9? 6? 9? What's going on?
That was painful. That hurt my heart. And let me start by saying something that I'm going to say very, very poorly, but I hope all of my Indonesian friends feeling this tie will hear me and will feel that I mean it. Kami mencintaimu. Do you guys know what that means? Rocky and Sakil, are you fluent in the language of Indonesia?
Teach us the ways, Roy. Teach us the ways.
Kami mencintaimu is we love you. And then I'll throw Indonesia at the end there. Kami mencintaimu Indonesia.
Look, we are just watching this team, and we obviously watched the full match of this, and you do start to fall in love with the team because of how hard they fight, how much fight each of these players give. Jay Idzis, we've talked time and time again. Rock, Martin Paz, Roy's MLS boy, trying to spur on the team. And then the new additions, I thought Reinders fit in really well. I thought he played a great match. And then, of course, and then Streak with what a strike in that moment. The goalie had no chance for Bahrain. All of that in the end. Look, guys, if we had said before the match, would Indonesia be happy with a draw in Bahrain? 100%. I think all of our Indonesian fans would have been super happy. But the way it happened, guys, were they robbed? Let's talk about that.
Yes. I think the answer is yes, Roy. I mean, I think maybe the referee is dyslexic and maybe he saw the 6, thought it was a 9, and that's why I put on 9 minutes. I honestly don't get it. I feel that 6 minutes means 6 minutes, right? And maybe a little bit extra. But for me, it went on too long. And it felt very much like a home field advantage, Roy, for Bahrain.
Yeah, that really, really hurt to watch because 6 minutes never means 6 minutes. First of all, let's be real. There was a yellow card in there. So then you push it to 7, right? You push it to 6.5. You push it to 6:45. To push it to almost 9 minutes, there better be an injury where they got to get the carts in there and they take 4 or 5 minutes to get them off the field. There better be a streaker on the field running across to hug Strupp or Martin Paz, someone running in to hug Martin Paz after all his saves. That's what needs to happen for there to be an additional 3 to 4 minutes after the stoppage time announcement. So I see this as borderline criminal from the referee. I see this as, it's hard to say there isn't some kind of foul play here. I'm not one to build conspiracies or anything like that, but it just seems like the ref got it wrong. He added way too much time at the end there, and it cost Indonesia. But the big question is, should Indonesia have held on? Should they have done a bit of a better job to hold on to that lead?
You know what's interesting? There was an incident right before that where Indonesia had a chance to, all the players running forward. And I thought, why not take it to the corner flag? Yep. Why try to shoot? Why try to shoot and score in that moment? And then I was thinking, what if this ref decides to keep playing? And what if they allow a goal because of that? Because you take it to the corner flag and that match is done. It's finished.
It's over. A smart decision. Yep, it would have been the smartest decision, but it felt like immaturity. It felt like these players are so excited to be playing for a team that adores them and that they have millions of new fans and their social media accounts blew up and they're 1,000x the followers and they're pumped. They want to be heroes. They want to score a goal. They'll have their name in a spotlight. And that got to them, I think, in that moment. Yeah. I think that got
But let's be honest. They were heroes. And this is the challenge, right? Because the reason we love this team is because the fight they show is incredible. I mean, they go into tackles like crazy, right? And the challenge is sometimes that ends up hurting you the other way, right? The first goal is off a free kick. I think an unnecessary foul in the middle of the field. I felt a few unnecessary fouls in there. There's a couple things they need to clean up, I think, which is that spirit, that energy sometimes also can serve you the other way, right? So a little more clean I'd like to see. And there's a few elements of that, I think, that need to be improved upon. But what a performance, we have to say. On the road, in a hostile environment, to be this close to the greatest victory in the history of this country.
Yeah. And after going a goal down and after having a pretty poor start, right? The first half, Bahrain dominated. And then to come out in the second half, first of all, that goal was huge right before the end of the first half. And then to come back in the second half, Indonesia dominated the second half. It was a dominating performance. And of course they got the goal to deserve with Rafael Streak and you know, we thought they were going to win.
Yeah. We did. And it would have been incredible. It would have been such a great story. But let's take a step back, right? Because at the end of this is not a bad result. And you have now a game at home that you have to win. But if you do, the table is going to look very different in a few days, right? Because Saudi Arabia lost. So I think Indonesia, it's a sad thing, but opportunity still remains, Roy.
Opportunity remains, but given the way the game went, it is a very bad result. It is a very bad result. It's not the result that Indonesia needed right now. If we look at the standings, Indonesia sits in 5th, a point behind Bahrain. That's 3 points total across 3 games. It's a difficult position. It is a difficult position to be in, but based on the way this team has been growing, based on the fact that each game they're looking better and better, they've figured out their attack in this game. They've gotten to a place where they're creating multiple chances. If they could go into the next game, this as a base, the second half as a base, they'll get their first win, man. They'll get their first win.
And the win will be, if they win, it's huge because remember, Saudi Arabia plays Bahrain, right? I mean, there's a lot of still to come. They don't look good now where they're placed, but things could be very different. They're actually very well placed, in my opinion, even though it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, because remember, you just need to get in the top 4. Forget the automatic qualification spots, right? So the biggest key is going to be this next game against China is a must win. It is. We talked about Roy's confident that Indonesia is going to win. Yeah. 100%. So this is it. This is the biggest game in Indonesian football history, and it is a needed must 3 points here. And then you think about if they get that victory, I agree with Rahi, because then the table looks a lot different based on some of the other things that happened. Guys, you said to bring something for the Indonesian fan, whatever team you liked. I got to support the Indonesian team here. What I got here is some chips that are, okay, it's a Hawaiian company, but it is made in Indonesia. And if you don't believe me, I'm 1,000% sure because there's a made in Indonesia label somewhere on here. You guys have to believe me. It's something called Wailana.
Can you show us the chips? Show us the
Here's
chips.
The chips. Here's the chips.
We can't see them.
Here are the chips. What? Here
there
they
you
are.
Go.
But it says it's made in Indonesia. Made in Indonesia, 1,000%. Right here. Made in Indonesia. It says it. It says it on the thing, guys. Can you see that? Where is it? Where's that little thing? Made in Indonesia.
I see.
You see it?
But look.
Yeah.
I think
made in Indonesia. There it is.
I see it.
Okay.
I think we wanted to get some jerseys, guys. Because the way this team is playing, I can really see, fast forward a few months, we could be really talking about them potentially fighting for that second spot in this group. Okay. No one else, I haven't been impressed by anybody else in this group to the extent that I think they can I mean, this is wide open, Roy. Wide open.
Okay. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Roy, because he said this group is wide open, but there was another game here, if you saw this.
But
Which
one win, guys. One win by Indonesia, and they could jump to second, given other results. That is incredible. Can I say one more thing about the Indonesians?
Go ahead.
I didn't bring a bag of chips like Sakil, but I learned the language, and I just want to say one more thing. Kamu adalah pejuang. Pejuang. Kamu adalah pejuang. What is that, guys? You should know it, Sakil. You're the guy that went to Indonesia for the bag of chips. What does that mean?
I do not know. I do not know, Roy. You must
Very
teach me
close.
the ways.
You almost got it. It's you are warriors. That is what I want to say to the Indonesian people and the team.
So Indonesia, best of luck for the match against China. We will obviously cover it after that, and hopefully there will be no foul business in that match or no extended added time or whatever you want to call it.
Keep flying, Garudas. Keep flying.
Okay, moving on real quick to the rest of the matches in Asia. This victory by Japan, I'm telling you, they did not even play their best match. This is world class. This is a world class team. Next level.
What do we say in the last call? What do we say in the last phone call? If Japan comes into this game and wins by at least 2 goals, I think it's safe to say they are the best team in this federation by far. And they're the only team in this federation that is at that world-class level. I think they have bumped into that category. It's a weird thing to say because they only played Saudi Arabia. It's not like a superpower by any means when it comes to the world of soccer. But
in the region, it is. In the region, it is.
Sure. Yeah. Regionally, they're the best, and I would put them up there. I would venture to say they're a top 12 national team in the world right now.
Yeah. Look, I'm wearing my Japanese style shirt for this particular video because Japan is easily the best team in Asia, but they're also, to your point, Roy, competing to be one of the best national teams in the world. They're in that conversation of being in the top 10, I would say. And I believe they could go through qualification perfect. This is a team that can win every single game, and they're doing it so easily. Honestly, guys, I haven't seen an Asian team this good in my lifetime.
Wow.
They didn't even play. I'm telling you, they didn't even play the best match that they could, and they beat Saudi Arabia and Saudi 2-0, and they felt very comfortable. Okay, fine. There were times, to Saudi's credit, I thought Al Dosari had a very good match. But these Japanese players they're just next level, Roy. They're world-class players, and you can see it. You can see the next level in terms of how they're good.
Yep. That's how you know it's a great team, because like you said, you didn't really say it, but I'll say it. They played a poor game.
Yeah.
They didn't look great. They were outshot by Saudi Arabia. They were outpossessed. They were outpassed across the board. Saudi Arabia had a better game, but these players held them scoreless, and these players put in 2 goals, even against the run of play, away from home. They got it done, and that's what great teams do. They don't have to look beautiful every single game. They just have to get it done.
That's the thing. They may not have played their best game, and Saudi Arabia played well at times, but you never felt that they were going to lose, right? You always felt they were the superior team.
In control.
It's always in control. Always better players. You just never were nervous for a moment if you're Japanese.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, there he comes with
the chips.
Japanese rice cracker. Japanese rice cracker. There
Look at
you
this
go.
guy.
I'm ready. I have the whole ensemble. So look,
the international man. I love it.
Japan is a tough team to deal with. They have a next game against Australia. It's going to be a fantastic match, which brings me to the point where finishing off with this is the Australia. Roy disappeared for a second.
I have something Japanese to show.
All right, fine. Show us, Roy. What do you got?
Ooh.
Ah, look at that.
Okay.
Look at that. He's got his anime going on.
No, it's Pokemon.
Okay.
Pikachu and Scarlet, it looks like.
There we go. Australia was in bad shape at the beginning of this match. Going a goal down. They rescued their World Cup campaign thanks to Mr. Godwin's golazo. That was a freaking amazing strike, man. but
What a rock,
they rescued their campaign because they were heading out.
They rescued the campaign. I don't know if I should yet be impressed. To me, this doesn't signal a lot. It's a survival against a team they should beat. But nothing about this game, to me, is an indicator that things have changed for Australia.
Nope.
They just avoided embarrassment. But it's, again, a team that they're better than, Roy, and they didn't look comfortable at all.
Nope. And it's mental with this team. I don't think it's a matter of lack of skill. I think this is a team that has struggled mightily over the past year. This is a team whose coach came out and say, I am out of ideas. This is a team that I've taken to where they can go under my leadership. I am passing him off, and he left the federation. This is a team that hasn't done well at all in World Cup qualifying, and they showed exactly that. They showed that the sensitivity, they showed the nervousness, the everything going on with them in the first half. And it looked like they were going to lose this game, guys. It really looked like they were going to lose this game. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but I think the second half surge showed. I think they have righted the ship. Honestly, I think after that strike by Godwin, I think has changed the tide.
But it's China. I mean, you remember who their opponent is, right?
Yeah.
This is not. They're not playing one of the best teams in the group. They're playing the worst team in the group.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see. But I think times are changing, and that's why I brought my little Australian koala guy again, so I could eat it again. Australia, man, Australia. All right, boys.
We'll learn a lot because don't they have Japan next?
They have Japan next, so we will learn a lot. We'll learn a lot about Australia.
I don't know, boys.
They could step it up. I think they're capable of tying a team like Japan. They've shown throughout the past decade that they're capable of going up against these types of teams. And let's be real, comparing Popovic's Australia versus the Australia of a few months ago, they did look better from an attacking perspective. China bunkered the entire game. It looks like they were coached by Mourinho. They bunkered the entire game, and Australia was still finding the half spaces. They were still finding the chances. They were bursting up the wings. So I liked some of what they did. It looked a little different. It looked a little more energetic. It was encouraging, I would say, but it still wasn't good.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they do against Japan. Very quickly, finishing it all off, I got to give a shout out to our Iraqi viewers out there because they made some comments and they said, you guys got to give us credit when we do. And they called Ayman Hussein, who had the goal. He did have the goal. He went off hurt or something after, but if he's back, this team is marching closely. We'll talk more about them at another time, but if they continue this particular run, they'll keep going. Uzbekistan had an opportunity with a man advantage, did not get it done against Iran. Did not get it done. Roy's team.
Uzbekistan, I love them. I can't believe it. Yeah, I was bummed.
If you're Uzbekistan, you have to feel unfortunate with the man up. You couldn't win, but then also fortunate because Iran had a penalty that was then changed after VAR. So that would have been a very dicey. So in the end, you probably end up being happy because a tie is a better result than it was.
Yeah. And then, of course, South Korea getting the victory away in Jordan. South Korea is they're going to get through. They're going to get through even without sun.
Quick note on Iraq. So let's be honest. The key to qualifying is you have to win the games you're supposed to win, right? Take care of business, accumulate points. This Iraqi team is doing just that. So by the end of this, they might well be right in that second or third spot, and you're going to say they're there.
Yeah,
they're in for qualify. This is an Iraqi team that can qualify, that is doing all the right things, Roy, and that's what you have to do to make it.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. All right, boys. So we will be back next week after the Tuesday matches to bring you that. Let's see, can Indonesia get it done? Who will win it with Japan and Australia? A lot of exciting matches on the books. If you've been enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Everyone out there, go Asian football and keep watching the beautiful game. See you all next time.
I love Asian football.